Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. And today I'm going to be bringing you a special interview. It's something that you guys have been asking me for a while, and I just had to find the right timing and to find the right time for me to be able to do this. But today I'm going to be bringing on a special guest, Eathan Bosch. We're going to be discussing his career basically, as well as his recent season. I mean, there's a lot to unfold over here and to talk about. So I hope you guys will enjoy this. But before we get going, there's a couple of things I need you guys to please do. Please subscribe to this channel. Please click that notification bell for all future videos. I also would like you guys to please do a couple of more things, and that's download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. You can also help us grow and promote South African cricket by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And then go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to chatting to Eathan today. A very good afternoon this time, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your exclusive interview, and today I am here with Eathan Bosch. Eathan, welcome to the show, brother. The fans have been asking for me to interview for quite some time, so welcome to the show.
Cheers. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Cool. So first and foremost, how are you doing? I mean, now that the season's done, what have you been up to?
Yeah, all good. Obviously taking a little bit of a break, playing a lot of golf, which is obviously a lot of fun and gets the mind off cricket. So yeah, just pretty much just been chilling, just ticking over and just taking a little bit of a break from the game.
Awesome. So what I want to ask you first and foremost, let's get straight into the questions before we get some maybe from the live chat. Um, I want to know your assessment of the season so far. You've played all formats, and particularly, I'm going to separate the SA20 for now. Just talk about the domestic season for first and foremost.
Mm.
What's your assessment of the season? What do you think went well for you? What do you think you can maybe improve on?
Well, I mean, obviously as a whole with the Dolphins, it was actually a pretty good season. Obviously a little bit disappointing with the way we performed in the one-day comp, and all of that, especially with the caliber of players that we had. But obviously, it's a part of cricket. You're not always gonna fire at all cylinders throughout the season. So yeah, I mean, overall, to reach the final in the T20 comp was pretty good. Obviously, a little bit sad not to get over the line because we played some good cricket. But to lose to a Titans team that was pretty good was obviously acceptable in some sort of way. But yeah, and then the 4-day comp to bring it back the way we did, to bounce back and win as many games as we did in a row. It really did show like the true character of all the guys and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was awesome for us to be able to lift that trophy. It kind of gave us an indication of what we needed to do in the last game, which gave us a little bit of breathing space in terms of we knew what we had to do in order to win it. Obviously, things had to go away with other games and stuff, but yeah, all in all, a really good season for us. So yeah.
Mhm. So I've looked at your stats in your career. Of course, the first time I ever spoke to you was at the Global T20. Actually,
Yeah.
that's way back when it didn't happen. So my introduction to you was always first T20 cricket at first, but I want to ask you about first class cricket. I mean, you had a decent 3 games you played this season, and you did pretty
Mm,
well in all three.
mm.
Can you give me some indication on where you are with regards to 4-day cricket and the importance of it for you personally as a cricketer?
I think initially for me, playing 4-day cricket was probably my main aspiration, especially for the Dolphins, because obviously it's a longer format and that kind of thing, and it more just tests your mental strength and that kind of thing. So for me, obviously I didn't play as much as I would have liked to, but obviously in Durban, it depends on the conditions that we play on and that kind of
Mm,
thing, whether or not a seam is worth it or an extra seam is worth it or not. Um, so yeah, I mean, I missed out one game for injury, which I was supposed to play, which was a little bit upsetting. So I probably would have played one more extra game. Um, but yeah, I've been enjoying my 4-day cricket. Obviously, it's a little bit tough on the body when you go from T20 cricket to 4-day cricket.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit difficult. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying it. Enjoy batting out there. Yeah, it's always a test of character, especially with the bowlers that you come up against in terms of the batting side. And then bowling wise, it's always just a mental game. Just try keep as patient as you can and that kind of thing. So yeah, overall, I still enjoy playing 4-day cricket as much as white ball cricket as I've played over the last season. Still enjoy it. It's not like I don't want to play anymore or anything like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely something I hope I can play a little bit more in the future. But obviously, with the conditions in Durban and the way we sometimes set up our team and that kind of thing, it's understandable not to play maybe every game and rotation and all of that as well. So yeah.
Do you feel that that 4-day cricket has helped you with regards to your T20 game at all? I mean, I spoke to certain domestic cricketers in the past and T20s players in the past, and I've heard people like, for example, David Warner say that he felt that 4-day cricket actually helped his T20 game. How has it helped you, if it has? Do you think it does help you with regards to your approach?
Uh, I'll start with the bowling. I think yes, because any like 4-day length or whatever it is, trying to test the batter works in every format of the game. T20 cricket, 50 over cricket, or whatever it is. It always works. So yeah, to obviously hone in on a skill like that, even when there's a little bit of pressure on in T20 cricket, it's always good to be able to fall back on something that you naturally do. And obviously in 4-day cricket, that's something that you have to naturally do all the time. So in terms of the bowling side, I definitely do think it really, really does help a lot, just in terms of being able to fall back on a certain delivery that actually works around the world and that kind of thing. If you look at the IPL, BBL, and all of that kind of thing. In terms of batting, it's definitely. I mean, it obviously you work on your technique and that kind of thing as much as possible to get yourself into
Mm.
good positions, and then obviously if in terms of attacking options and that kind of thing, it helps you get into better positions because of you don't often get your bad ball per se or whatever it is because you're not obviously looking to be as aggressive all the time. So yeah, I definitely do think it helps. I think a big thing for me has been a mindset in 4-day cricket with my batting, uh, where I feel like if I'm too defensive, I actually get myself into more trouble than just like playing the ball as I see and obviously having that positive approach to it.
Mhm.
So obviously that does help going forward into T20 cricket and 1-day cricket as well, where you're obviously always looking to be like being positive and all of that, and getting yourself and having the base to get yourself into good positions to play the shots that you want to play in those formats. So obviously, I do think 4-day cricket does help with that.
Yeah, that's an excellent insight. I mean, it also, I guess it also depends where you bat in the order, of course. I mean, as David
Yeah.
Warner as an opening batter, obviously, I can understand that from that point of view. So there is a couple of questions in the live chat before. Maybe I'll have a couple. I want to give them opportunity because they're the ones that asked you to come on.
Mm.
So let me get into their questions, and then if I have anything else, I'll see if there's time still left for you, of course, based on what your time is available. Okay, so first and foremost, Sadiq says, do you see yourself as an all-rounder uh, or as a bowler who can bat?
Uh, I feel like I am an all-rounder. Um, I mean, obviously, if I look at my stats and stuff like that, in terms of my batting and stuff, I feel like I can be better. Can be hard on myself in that aspect. Because obviously, when I first started, it was like I almost felt like I was a bowler that could bat a bit and that kind of thing, but where I don't want to be classified as just a bowler who can bat. Um, so for me, obviously, scoring 50, scoring hundreds is something that like I want to do. I want to get like the team over the line and that kind of thing. So yeah, I definitely think I do classify myself as an all rounder. But yeah, it's just obviously something I need to work on in terms of being more consistent, I think. I feel like I do have the ability to be a proper all-rounder. So yeah, it's just a matter of just me just getting knuckled down and just grinding as much as I can.
Yeah. When it comes to doing that and becoming an all-rounder, this is an add-on to this. Do you feel that it's more working on technique, or is it more mental, with regards to you switching or becoming more focused from a batting perspective?
I think it's more mental because obviously it's two different aspects of the game where like if you do badly with the bat, you know that you can potentially still help the team out with the ball. So you're kind of like in a good position in some sort of way. But yeah, I do think it's just mainly just a mental thing where you're just switching between the two and knowing what job you have at hand. So obviously, as any player, you want to help your team win games and all of that. So yeah, I definitely think it's just a mental switch between the two, and obviously just with like the scenario you're in and stuff.
Hmm. Okay. This is an excellent question as well, I think, from Werner. He says, how was the experience of playing for the South African Invitational 11 against the Netherlands?
It's obviously always really good to play against an international team. It's obviously the same as the SA20, where you're playing against the best guys in the country and obviously the world as well. So it's just nice to be able to see where you are in terms of your game, and all of that. It's just to see what level you are at and that kind
Mhm.
of thing. And obviously the intensity at international cricket, I'm assuming, is a lot higher than what we've experienced at domestic cricket. We obviously have a little bit of a sniff of it at the SA20. But yeah, it's just that aspects that you just need to adapt to and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a really good experience. Obviously, the guys played really well that day. So yeah, it would have been nice to play a couple more games, but
Mhm.
it's obviously the schedule that it was.
Okay.
But yeah, it would have been cool to play a couple more games and just kind of see how things went.
Okay, next question is, who is the bowler you try and follow, if any?
Yeah. Uh, I mean, look, I obviously have a lot of heroes growing up. Obviously, Dale Steyn was one of them. Sean Pollock was another. Everyone tried to be like Brett Lee as well. Um, obviously, I
Yeah.
didn't get that part of it. But yeah, there's so many guys. There's so many different aspects and attributes of different bowlers all around the world, like James Anderson, Stuart Broad. Like, there's so many to name. So there's so many guys I look up to, and just you just try to pick up on certain things while you're busy watching Test cricket and even T20 cricket as well. So yeah, it's just mainly just trying to learn, and that's why these SA20s and stuff is such a good experience, because you get to rub shoulders with these kind of guys and try to pick their brain a little bit. I mean, we had Jacques Cullis as well at the SA20, which was pretty cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, you just try to learn as much as you can and just see what works for you, because obviously everyone's different. Some things will work for you, some things won't. So yeah, it's merely just trial and error and just seeing what works for you best.
Yeah. Can you maybe just elaborate on that, on Jacques Callis, for example? Because we don't
Mm,
then often get an opportunity to ask players about what the experience was like under his coaching.
mm.
What has been different from him compared to other coaches maybe that you've dealt with, and what stood out about his coaching for you?
So yeah, so for me, it was I really enjoyed him, because like he doesn't overflow information to guys. Like, he doesn't just bombard guys with information. Do this, do that. He's just more like, if you come to him and you say, "Listen, you're like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" He's like more than welcome um, to help out and that, and obviously give his experiences from his side. But yeah, he's a pretty relaxed guy, which a lot of people obviously like know that, and I didn't expect it. Like, obviously you see it, but you're like, oh, surely he's not like that in person. But I mean, he's actually such a really cool guy, and I mean, we got along quite well. Um, so I mean, he's yeah, obviously his stats and his career shows for himself or for itself. So yeah, he's incredible to work with. It's like he just looks at the simple things. which is quite cool because sometimes people try overcomplicate stuff, and all of that. And I mean, when I spoke to him about my batting and bowling, it was just tiny things that he said I must just focus on, and it made a world of difference. And it's crazy to see that only small things actually make the biggest difference.
Hmm. Does he talk to you guys a lot about maybe mental techniques or mindset techniques on focusing in the game, etc., or those type of things? Did you get to pick his brain about maybe red ball cricket at all?
Um, Actually, I didn't. Funny enough, I think when I saw him outside of the actual cricket stadiums and whatnot, I actually didn't really speak to him too much about cricket,
Okay.
opposed from the last night, where we spoke quite a bit. But yeah, you can just see his calmness, I think, which probably showed in his international career as well.
Yeah.
Which he just brings upon naturally. Like he doesn't have to say, "Guys, stay calm" or whatever. Like you just hear in his voice and whatever when he explains certain situations and players and how we should do things in any sort of way. It's like really calm, and it's like there's no panic or anything like that. And I think
Mm.
that was also that helped me out a bit as well. Like he was like, I remember there was one. I think it was our last game of the round robin stuff where I was thinking, oh, do I bowl an in swinger first ball of the game if I took the first over? And he was like, just do it. Like, just back yourself and just do it. So, like, to hear that from someone like him, and like,
Mm.
I probably would have never done it again, or I would have never done it had like he just been like, dude, just back yourself. Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, just that level of calmness and just making you like believe in yourself in that kind of way was pretty cool.
Awesome. That's incredible insight. We have seen you bowl great lengths, move it, and being accurate. Are you also working on bowling Yorkers to improve your death bowling more?
Yeah, so that's obviously been something I know I need to improve on. It's obviously a really big skill to have, I think. Obviously, the odd time it could be your day where you land 6 out of 6, but it's those bad days that you need to almost get the gap of a bad day and a good day quite similar, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm working on. Obviously, always as any cricketer, you always want to keep improving and keep putting clubs in your bag in terms of skill wise. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking to improve a little bit more. I didn't expect to bowl as much at the death as I did in the SA20, but yeah, I'm always up for a little bit of a challenge, and yeah, it always helps you improve in any sort of way.
So I'm gonna get into a SA20 question now again from Werner. He says, what was it like to bowl, or how was it like to bowl with Anrich Nokia at the Pretoria Capitals in the SA20 and the experience of the tournament as a whole?
Uh, I mean, I'm glad I wasn't on the receiving end of Heinrich Nokia, I must be honest. Um, so yeah, it's obviously pretty cool about seeing the way he goes about his business and that kind of thing. Yeah, it just shows you it actually, for me, I can see why he plays international cricket, just purely because of the way his head is, like in terms of the way he thinks and that kind of thing. And I mean, even when I was bowling and he was standing at mid off, he's like, if I got hit for a boundary or whatever, he's like, no, don't worry, just keep bashing that length or whatever it is. So yeah, playing alongside him was pretty cool. Yeah, obviously, hope I can do it a lot more in the future. Yeah, because he's pretty exciting to watch and be on in the same team.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
here's a
oh,
couple.
sorry, and then
Yeah, the SA20 as well.
yeah, yeah. I think it was really, really good for South African cricket. It just showed you what talent we have in South Africa as a whole. So yeah, and also the crowds obviously also made it really, really incredible because I obviously wasn't really used to playing in front of so many people. So it was pretty exciting. So obviously, I hope the fans enjoyed it as much as the players did. So to have all the best guys in the world come play this tournament, and yeah, to play against them was awesome. So yeah, hopefully that can go from strength to strength in the future, and obviously, hopefully, a lot more South African cricketers can come through and experience it.
Yeah. So Dex, I'm not ignoring your questions. I'm just gonna keep it on like on the same level over here because we're talking about bowling as well. So then I'll come to your batting questions a little later. Then has another one. He says, I saw that you were able to swing the ball both ways against the Netherlands. How long has it taken to you to master the ability to do that? I ask because most bowlers prefer bowling one of the two.
Um, so I've always practiced bowling an in swinger, but it's more me. I've just tried to figure ways of trying to hide it and try not be as obvious when I do it. So that for me has always been the biggest thing. So I don't often bowl it as much because I felt that it was too easy to see. Um, so I just obviously my stock ball is to bring it away from a right-hander. So yeah, it's just basically just trying to hide it as much as possible. Because if you look at like Jimmy Anderson and that kind of thing, it's obviously not as easy. Even Shami as well from India, he gets it going both ways and stuff like that. So it's pretty like just trying to hide it is trying to be something that I'm trying to do. So yeah, it's something I'm still working on trying to get better at, and obviously bringing a little bit of pace into it as well.
So Dex, here's your first question. Your favorite batter in the current Proteas roster?
I think that's an easy one. It must be Aiden Markram, I must be honest. Yeah, he's just been in phenomenal form at the moment. But yeah, I've always enjoyed watching him bat.
Yeah, see, I like great minds. Who hits the ball further, Corbin or yourself?
So on a golf course, Corbin, I think. But on a cricket field, yes. I don't know. I think we neck and neck. I think it's hard to say because we haven't really played too much against each other, which is quite funny because I mean we've been around for a good solid 5-6 years now, playing in the same like cricket system or whatever, and we've only played a handful of games. I don't even think more than 3 or 4 games against each other. So yeah, I'm actually not too sure, but Corbin would like to say himself, but yeah,
Of course.
we'll have to see.
What is your guys' relationship like? Like, do you keep in touch often? Do you meet up often? What is your relationship like?
Yeah, so he's obviously here in Pretoria. I mean, I'm here now. But yeah, we obviously try to communicate as much as we can. I don't think we try interfere too much with each other's games. In terms of saying, no, this is what I think you must do. This is like we each have our people that we go and fall back onto and that kind of thing. But it's always nice to hear what like he's working on and what he's trying to get better at and that kind of thing. Because then, like when he's playing and whatnot, you can kind of see it. So often, if I'm not playing and he's playing, I'll put it on the TV and I'll watch his 4-day spell or whatever it is. So, like, we always follow each other, and it's not like we just let the one guy go and not worry about the other. So we do follow each other, and we just obviously wish the best for each other, and we hopefully can play in the same team one day.
Well,
But yeah, it's just merely just bouncing things off each other and all of that. Obviously, very competitive. So as
that's what I
well.
wanted to
So
know.
yeah, we're very
Very
competitive.
Awesome. Okay. And Ankit says CFM channel is luck, so now you soon will get the Protea call up. He says. Shailen says, yes, Khalid, I've been championing Eathan for years. Top player, looking forward to seeing him wear those Proteas colors in the not too distant future. Are you going to play club cricket in England in the off season at all?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I think we've decided, myself and the medical staff as well, just because of the injuries that I've had in the past. And I think this has probably been my first full season where I've pretty much been available for every game. Rather, let me say that, because obviously I didn't play all the games. So yeah, we're just trying to, in a way, ease back into everything. So yeah, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to go almost back to back to back seasons. So, I mean, if I get a T20 gig somewhere or something like that, then that's all right, because it's obviously not as toiling on the body. So yeah, we'll see, but I don't think so.
Okay. In your short career so far, which wicket have you enjoyed the most?
Uh, I'm gonna say Josh Butler, pretty easy one. Just purely because of um, the scenario we were in and that kind of thing in that semi-final, because we knew it was a pretty big wicket. So I would say Josh Butler. Yeah.
Sadiq also says you would love to see the Janssen brothers versus the Bosch brothers one day. Okay, I want to ask you a little bit about the last question from me is basically the international players in the SA20. Not only the ones that are in your locker room, but also maybe from the opposition, if you got an opportunity to actually speak to them and maybe pick their brains. Um, who did you learn from and what did you learn from them? Like, if you can pick out maybe some of the things that stood out to you.
Um, so I didn't really speak too much to any of the opposition guys because we didn't have a lot of time to chat to
Yeah,
them, if
quick
that makes
turnaround.
sense.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
quick
so
turnaround between
often,
games.
yeah, so obviously hoping now in the future, without the Women's World Cup that was obviously played, where things aren't as on top of each other, because often we would play a game, have half an hour, and then we would leave. Um, so obviously hoping in the future that that isn't the case. Um, but yeah, I think just as a whole, just watching the way the internationals went about their business,
Okay.
was like obviously a learning curve for me as well, because you see they very like specific driven. So if there's something they want to work on, that's what they do. Where sometimes I feel like in domestic cricket we just do it for the train for the sake of training. Um, so yeah, it's just like specific stuff, and listening to some of the guys chat about other guys and stuff like that, where like it's small things that they work on, and then like it's cool how they would implement it in a game. And so yeah, so that's kind of the things like you just pick up on. And yeah, so not necessarily like completely speaking to other guys and that kind of thing, but yeah, just chatting to a few
Sorting it out.
guys and just hearing their experiences of everything has been pretty cool. See my brother.
Yeah. So yeah.
So wait,
Bro.
Corbin, let's. So they asked. One of the question was, who hits a longer ball in cricket, me or you?
I reckon you've got me covered.
Okay, he says I've got him covered. I
What?
didn't think you would say
I'm surprised, Corbin.
that.
Okay, it's
But
good
he
to see
says
there as
golf
well.
ball. Golf ball. He says he hits further.
Okay, awesome. Ethan, thanks a lot for joining us. I really enjoyed chatting to you. I hope we get to talk again in the future and catch up. It would be great to get both of you on one day and maybe do a collab where we can chat to both of you. I'll speak to Corbin as well in the future, but I would like to chat to you individually to catch up and see how you're going in the future. And also in the off season,
Mm.
good luck. And I hope
Awesome.
that
Thank you. Yeah.
you enjoy it. I'll chat to you
Thank
very
you.
soon.
Really appreciate it. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for having me.
Sure. See
Cheers.
you, bro. Thanks. Bye. Okay, guys, that was the interview with Ethan. I really, I really enjoyed it. I really learned a lot from that. It was actually excellent to speak to him. I've never actually interviewed him on this channel before, so I really enjoyed it. I just want to give you guys a quick update. Today, this morning, I interviewed the Dolphins head coach, Imran Khan, and he also revealed to me who the signings are that they signed for this season. I'll be releasing that interview tomorrow. And as you guys know, I'm taking kind of a break from the daily shows, just to, I've been working very hard every single day, traveling a lot and etc. And I just needed a couple of days to just unwind and refresh. I can bring you guys fresh content again and do this daily shows in the evening. And it's coming towards the end of the Ramadan, and I just want to maybe just focus a little bit and just refocus my thoughts, my life, etc., and then come back to you guys again. But I'll be trying my best to bring you guys exclusive content in the meantime, though. So in between, I'll do a couple of interviews. If I get an opportunity, I'll be asking for some of them. So let me know who you'd like me to interview, and I'll try my best to do so. But keep an eye out for Imran Khan's interview tomorrow. It will be uploaded onto the channel as soon as in the morning sometime. I'll put it up on the channel. So guys, thanks you for tuning in. Thank you for all the questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell for all future videos. Also, I would like you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And then also help us grow and promote South African cricket by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Smash the like button, comment and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all regular updates. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for all the questions and getting involved. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon for another daily show. And stay tuned for all the exclusive interviews that I'll be trying to get in this future. Take care, everybody, and peace out and enjoy the rest of your evening, your weekend, etc.